Hey, look, I just got a notification. Ben's live.
Okay. Open up. I gotta show you this bait I bought too.
Okay, let me see it.
How do I get to my... Just 1 second. Let me pull up this thing real quick. Hey! Hey! Oh shoot, I'm gonna hear myself. Hold on. Let me do something really quick, guys. Hey, Lady Bass. Let me do something really quick. I'm gonna go grab an iPad so I can read the comments and have the volume up so I can also hear Alex. I'll be right back.
Dude, if you can hear me, you're like complete. Oh. Whoa, he's opening his garage door. Oh, he's getting his truck. That's definitely a Tundra, I can tell. Questions, start asking away. We're just going to kind of hang out and talk. There we go. Now it's working. Can you hear me? Ben. Ben.
Just 1 second, guys.
He can't hear me.
He can't.
Uh-uh.
Is he just sitting there then?
Yeah. So my volume's low.
What's up, Reese?
Is it your headphones? Are you done with your headphones so far?
Ben, can you hear me? No.
Ben.
How's it going, Chris? Average depth of the tridge. It's actually pretty shallow. You're looking at like 7 foot, 8 foot. So it's definitely not very deep.
Hey, can you hear me? Ben.
Logan. I can hear you, Alex. I can hear you. I don't really have a favorite square bill. Like a 1.5 size or Crush 75 flat. This was probably my favorite. Basically, this is just a little bit different bait than like a standard square bill. It's got a really, really tight wobble to it. How's deer camp going? Have you guys shot anything or seen anything? Hey, Alex, are you still? Can't hear you, buddy. I can see you. I can't hear you. Oh, hold on. No, I can't hear you, but I can see you. I could hear you like 5 minutes ago. Dude. Alex and I were just talking about the Whopper Plopper. I really like the 90 size. To me, the 90 size is really good for smallmouth and largemouth up here both. Although I do have a couple of the 130 size, which is the 5-inch bait. And that 130 size is kind of big. How's it going, Peyton? For those of you guys who don't know yet, Alex Rudd is he has another great YouTube channel, so go over and follow him. I left his link down in the description below, so if you open up the description, his link is right there. Dude, water temp here is last weekend it was like 54. It should be dropping a little bit, but I'm not really sure. My favorite topwater is actually 90 size Whopper Plopper. Or I'll throw like a Rico popper in the, I like the smaller size if I can get away with it. But you can't cast it very far. That small Rico you can't hardly cast at all.
Hey Ben, can you hear me?
Dude, I can't hear you, Alex.
So
now I can hear you. Yeah.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me get off. Okay.
Hold on.
All right, so you can hear me now.
Yeah, you're just real quiet.
That's so weird. I don't know. Can you hear me? Like,
Screen.
I'm on my phone, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're just real quiet.
Really quiet. That's weird. Okay. That doesn't make any sense.
Can you guys hear Alex better than I can?
Any other time is.
Do you have any Apple earbuds, Alex?
Well, see, I was with my Bluetooth headphones. I don't know.
Can't hear you anymore.
Can't hear me anymore. That's.
So it's not the headphones.
Yeah. Give me my headphones back.
Yeah, I got you now. I can hear you.
Now you can hear me?
I can hear you. Look.
Yeah, I got you now. I can hear you.
Now you can hear me?
Yeah.
Somebody said Alex sounds fine to me.
You're good. I can hear you. I'm actually going tomorrow to catch some big smallmouth. Hopefully I can get on a couple.
All right, can you hear me? All right, can you hear me? Ben? Ben?
Can't hear you. 'Cause you
Can hear you.
the computer.
You can hear me? You can hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I have no idea which one it's coming through, so I've just got them
Yeah.
both on. So.
Don't do that one. Don't do that one. 'Cause I know.
You're hearing me through this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mute your phone.
Okay, hold on. All right. Just 1 second. How about now? How about now?
Starter baitcaster, how much is your... Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. We're good.
Is that your computer?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I need to be on this one.
Hey, thank you, Bloodhound. I appreciate it, man. So overall, starting baitcaster, I would throw Lou's LFS Series Speed Spool. That's probably my favorite. It's like $100, or you can get one cheaper. What about you, Alex? Favorite baitcaster starter?
Favorite baitcaster. I don't know. I've got so many different ones. But yeah, like a loose speed spool LFS. That Daiwa, the Arid. They're made for intercoastal, but they're really, really good. They're really good bass reels too. And then like the Fuego, if you're wanting something like, I know I found Fuegos. They're like $150 reels, but you can get them on eBay for like $89. I've even found them as cheap as $75. So anything like that.
Yeah, those are good ones. Good spinning. Just a rod or rod and reel combo, Peyton? Line breakage questions. What kind of line are you throwing? Fluorocarbon? Are you throwing braid or? Just a rod.
Breakage. What's the
He's
guy talking? What's he talking about? Line breakage?
Yeah, he says he has line breakage questions.
Yeah, just what kind?
Yeah. All around spinning rod for $100. Probably a medium action. You don't even have to spend $100, man. I mean, I got a rod for Kylie for $45 on sale. It's an Okuma.
Or go check out Bulldog.
Yeah, Bulldog.
All their rods are $99. Really premium guides, really premium, reel seats and all that stuff. But they're $99 with a lifetime, no questions asked warranty. So you could literally take the rod outside and smack it on the driveway, and they'll send you a new one, no questions asked. So,
Alex, what knot do you throw? Fluoro to braid?
I use a uni to uni.
Okay. See, I'd throw a blood knot, but I don't really think it makes a difference.
Yeah, the uni to uni is a little. Sorry, I'm on my phone, so I'm trying to figure out which way to hold it. The uni to uni is a little big, coming through like micro guides. But I mean, it's nothing like it's not enough that I notice it. You know what I mean? It makes a little bit of a popping sound, but not like horrible.
Oh, you're breaking in between the knot and the hook. That's a line issue. I throw Sunline. You can even buy the Sunline Super Fluoro. You just have to get a decent Sunline or a decent line.
Yeah, or P-line.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer in P-line. It is the toughest stuff. Period. I mean, it's like whale rope.
Are you throwing this on a spinning rod, Bloodhound? Because if you are, throw like 8-pound test to about 12-pound test braid. That's what I recommend. And I'm throwing, Sunline. I'm throwing Sunline Sniper 8-pound, but I mean, if you're breaking in between the knot and the hook, it's probably the line. You might have to go up in pound test then. If you're on a bait caster, you want to be throwing like 15-pound test if you're going to braid to fluoro, because you'll put so much stretch on that fluoro or the copolymer that it'll really want to break.
And throwing anything less than 15-pound like spider wire braid on a bait caster is just going to turn into a mess for you too, because it digs into itself really, really bad. And it's just a matter of time before you get a bird's nest so bad that you got to take the scissors to it.
Yeah. I know we missed a question that I thought was pretty good. Maybe not.
Vicious. I've never thrown Vicious, even though The people who own Bulldog rods owns vicious. I've never thrown vicious line. Thrown some
Neither.
vicious baits, but never vicious line.
No, you don't need to invest in a DC reel unless you have a lot of extra money to blow. I wouldn't do it. I've talked to my buddy who throws a Metanium, and then he has a new Corrado 70 or 200, and both those new Corrados are great reels. But that's if you want to go to Shimano. There are a lot cheaper reels that are just about as good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there really are. I mean, Shimano, in my opinion, is one of those things. Is if you're someone who fishes every single day, and you're fishing 300, you're investing gear like Shimano. But if you're someone who's just a weekend warrior, don't go buy a $300-$400 reel. I mean, but if you got the money to spend, go ahead. I mean, it's your money. Do what you with it, what you want.
Yeah, it's gonna be probably one of the best reels you ever own, but it's just a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Lady Bass said, "What are you guys doing to catch fish right now? Depth, etc." Right now, my fish are everywhere and anywhere. They're really just kind of eating shad everywhere. But mainly, I've been focusing on top water, like a shallow diving crankbait, anywhere from 5 to 10 feet. Here in a few weeks, they should start eating a jerkbait really good, so I'm going to start doing that a lot more. But that's really about it right now. Just waiting for the cold weather. I need about a 20-degree drop, and then I'll be cooking.
Yeah, our fish are pretty much deep. I mean, we're pretty definitely full. I'm looking, if I'm on big water, if I'm on the Great Lakes, I'm looking probably between, 10 to 15 foot of water now. Those fish are starting to move deep on the offshore stuff again. And I mean, they're easy to catch, though. I mean, they're fun to catch. But if I'm inland, I'm looking, 5 to 10 foot of water, no deeper than 10 inland. I'm going to stay shallow, and I'm going to throw a jig or a shallow diving crankbait or something.
We kind of use, it's funny, like where a lot of guys will be throwing square bills, I'm throwing like a DT10.
Yeah.
And I've always I've got like a few square bills, but I don't like boxes of square bills. I have boxes of like 300 Bandits and Rapala DT10s and things like that. I don't know.
Do you like the DT series?
I love it.
See,
a lot in a lot of different colors.
I bought some mainly because they're
DT10 all the way to DT20. I mean, and if they made a DT25, I'd buy it.
I like them because they're not rattling, right? So I can go out and I can throw rattling bait, and then once that shuts off or slows down, I can throw, like a DT16 or something. That's what I just bought. I mean, but dude, I told Alex before we started this, I said, let me show you a bait that I just bought. And any of you guys that have Bassmaster or Bass University TV, there was an Ike Live episode talking about the new Boom Boom Swimbait, but I just bought one of these things, and this thing is ginormous, dude. I mean, for you, probably not, but for me, I mean, this is like, this is my Mega Bass Mag Draft 6-inch, and this is the Boom Boom 6-inch, right? It's giant.
Yeah. Is that a line through, or is that a wire in?
If you can see, hope I can show you guys. See that harness in there? It's got a harness, and then there's a line tie right on the front here.
Okay.
There's a harness, and then the hooks, hangs from the bottom. But.
Yeah, that thing is it's designed after old Bass Pro Shop design.
Yeah.
That they quit making, and I mean, it's one of those things I didn't really find out about it until that tournament they had this year, and everybody started talking about it and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, dude, I bet it'll catch fish.
Yeah. Hey Matt, if you want, I'll send you. Let me send you a link real quick, Matt.
Where do we throw, or where do you throw swim baits? Fishing Maniac asked that question. Well, when I throw swim baits, and when I say swim baits, I mean like big ones, like 8-inch, 6, 7, 8-inch baits. A lot of the times I'm going to throw them at very specific times of the year because I know that's when the bass are going to be eating that kind of forage. Right now is the time to do it is in the fall when the bass are feeding up. Another time to do it is in, pre-spawn, post-spawn, springtime kind of stuff. The shad spawn's another big one. And I'm going to focus on those areas where, the shad are going to be spawning, the bass are going to be spawning, which is, for the shad spawn, and then, flats with wood cover, rock cover, those kind of things, hard places that bass can get next to spawn. But it all really just depends on the time of the year and all that, and what kind of swim bait I'm going to be throwing. So, the big shad stuff for the shad spawn, bluegill imitations for spawning bass to bring them off the bed. And then, I'll downsize as the year goes on. And then once they go deep, like a hollow belly with like an ounce lead head with exposed hook, you can throw it on deep bass, stuff like that.
Hey, Matt Rhodes, send me an email, and I'll send you a link. I can't find your information to send you a thing. I'm actually throwing a jerkbait or a swim bait right now. I'm throwing an underspin though. Yeah, there's no one behind me. I'm throwing an underspin. This is a bait that I'm throwing. If you guys can see that, it's an all chartreuse bait with an underspin head. It's a 1/2 ounce. And man, I'm not kidding when I say they're eating it up to the line tie. If you guys haven't watched some of my smallmouth videos, they're eating this bait to the point where I'm literally pulling the tail out of their throats. All I do is I cast it out, and I let it sink all the way to the bottom, and I just really, really, really slow roll it. And you just want to just barely feel the bottom.
Here, I'll show you the swim bait I'm throwing. It's a little different. Not much. I mean, it only varies by about 6 inches probably. But here's mine. That is a mag draft, 8-inch mag draft. So that's the kind of one. Yeah, that's the smaller version. That's the 6-inch, which I would highly recommend to anybody. It skips like a dream, and it'll catch fish that aren't massive. It'll get all the fish in the lake, not just the giant ones. But I mean, even small fish will try to eat this thing. But that's what I'm going to be throwing right now, just because it's a perfect big shad imitator. And during this time of the year, the bass, I mean, they're just they're looking to get big and fat before it gets cold, and they have to go dormant for a little while. So that's why I'm throwing that really big profile bait. And plus, the forage in my lake is really big profile as well. I mean, we've got 8, 9, 10-inch gizzard shad. You know what I mean? There's gizzard shad. They're as big as small bass.
Yeah. So we don't have any of that.
Big baits.
We have like bluegill and perch. We do grow like 14-inch perch up here. So lady bass,
Yeah,
this is the biggest swim bait I have. This is a 6 cents flow glide. I haven't caught anything on it, but I don't have the confidence in it. So for me, it's, I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. I had a big name come up here, and he was catching fish. He was catching smallmouth on an eye slide. I think it's a 185. So that's a 7.5-inch jointed glide bait. He was crushing them on it. So
I'll tell you, man, I've caught last week. We went to a lake called Norris, and I mean, I was catching like literally 6-inch fish on a crankbait, and I mean, it was almost bigger than they were. And you throw a spook, they'd crush a normal spook, and the spook was as big as they were. Don't let an 8-inch bait intimidate you, because for a 4, even a 3-pounder, a 3, 4, 5-pound bass, it's nothing for them to eat something that big. They have no. Their instincts just tell them to kill it.
yeah,
That's really and once you catch one, the whole confidence thing just goes out the door. You're like, okay, if one will eat it, I know another one will eat it. So it's all about just throwing it too, and the equipment and all that. I'm actually about to change all my equipment on how I throw swim baits, because it's just so hard to do.
that's true. You gotta have big rods and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm actually planning on switching to a medium heavy musky rod. So, and I'm getting like a 400 size reel. I mean, it's some big stuff. Bass bullies, yes, I am ready for it to cool down so I can throw an A-rig. I am just so ready. You don't even understand. I'm tired of this beating. I've been beating the banks for too long. I'm ready to just throw an A-rig and catch a 4-pound smallmouth.
Okay, realistic fishing. That's a great question. He asked, what's the best way to transition from being a bank fisherman to an open water angler? The biggest thing is just go out and do it, man. I mean, you start by getting on your boat and beating the bank, and, you know, you kind of figure it out that way. But then you look at lake maps and you understand how these fish relate to offshore structure a little bit better. You start, you know, figuring out points, which is like one of the most obvious things you can figure out, or bridge pilings. And then from there, you look at your maps and you can move more offshore and look at, you know, offshore humps, underwater contour swings, and stuff like that. So you just go out and don't let the big water discourage you, because you basically just go around and fish the bank, and then you just slowly move your way deeper. That's the way I break down any body of water. I'll start shallow and then start moving my way deeper.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Study lake maps. Old school, just paper maps are your best friend when you don't have big graphs and stuff. I mean, you don't have to have big graphs to catch fish. Those guys, it wasn't until, 5 years ago that we had touchscreen graphs. And even, 4 years ago, we didn't have touchscreen graphs. And 5 years before that, they didn't have graphs that had maps on them. And people were still using old school paper maps. And there's nothing wrong with using a paper map and figuring out a body of water that way.
Right, that's
and
for sure.
Apps and Google Earth, and there's so many tools that you can use.
Yeah.
Don't let the 21-foot Phoenix with two power poles intimidate you.
Yeah, that's for sure. You don't need a big boat. That's 100% for sure. You don't need a big boat.
Let's see here. Giant perch.
There was a good question. I think we went past wiggle warts. I have 2 in my boat. I don't throw them as much as I should, but I know Alex probably does.
I've thrown one a little. Dad threw it a lot more than I did, and he used to throw it a lot more than we do now. But it has a time and a place. It's just like anything else. I throw a bandit more than I throw a wiggle wart, and it's just because the bass, I catch fish on it. So I think a wiggle wart does really well when it's like really cold. Like when it starts to get that, where you have to look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man to go fishing, that's when you need to throw a wiggle wart.
Yeah, that's for sure. Or first thing post spawn too.
Yeah.
Beyond that though. I'll tell you what, Michigan MI Bassin kicked my butt in the tournament, and it's definitely not the size of the boat.
For sure. There's always going to be that old dude that pulls up in the 17-foot John boat and beats your eyeballs out. So
yeah, you were telling me that those old guys that come in and weigh in 20 pounds and everyone else is struggling.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's old guys that come in and they'll be fishing in little boats and they drag a peanut jig around all day and beat your eyeballs out. And you're out there fishing your heart out, and they'll just beat you. Coming down to fish with me? That is a good question.
This winter, we've been talking about it. I'm going to come down, probably leave on a Friday right after work and get down there way too late, fish all weekend.
Sounds good to me.
So
whenever. I got a place for you to sleep. We'll go eat some Mexican food. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good to me too. It's getting cold here, dude. We had snow yesterday or 2 days ago. We had like a quarter-inch of snow.
That's ridiculous. So, Realistic asks, when I see a fish on a graph, how can I make an educated guess of what type of fish they are? Well, the number one thing is getting out there and looking at them on the graph and figuring out. But there's a lot of videos about identifying what species of fish are, but they stack up a certain way. So a lot of times, if you find bass on the bottom, especially largemouth, they're just going to be slightly off the bottom, and they're going to be rows, like dots, and they're going to be almost perfectly symmetrical in a row. Smallmouth will do the same thing as a largemouth will. Now, if it's like crappie, they'll stack straight up on top of each other. Striper will stack up on top of each other, but you'll see them streaking a lot. So if you find them, like on, 18, 19 foot of water, and it's just consistent dots all the way across the bottom, that's usually largemouth.
Yeah. A lot of crappie, bluegill, a stack, but
Yeah.
everything else I basically look for scattered or right along the bottom.
Because you got to realize too, a bass is, even if they're 12 inches or 6 pounds, they're a pretty big fish, and they don't want to be right on top of each other. And they got, they kind of want to have some space to move around. That's a lot of why bass will hit things, is because they just don't want it to be near them. Not because they want to eat it, it's just because they don't want to be bothered. I feel sorry for anybody where it's snowing at your place right now. That's just, it's too early for that.
Yeah. I like this bait. This is a blade bait. I don't know if Alex has ever seen one of these.
Yeah.
Up here, no. It gets cold, and what you do is you cast this bait out, and it has a really, really wide wobble. You let it go all the way to the bottom and just kind of drag it along the bottom. You basically want to keep it, 6 inches off the bottom or lower.
Yeah,
If you look
Bass Bullies TV answered the question for me. It's an A-rig. It's always an A-rig.
Yeah.
Because you can do everything with an A-rig. You can crawl it on the bottom. You can fish it fast and high in the water column. You can fish suspended fish. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Looks like a big old ball of bait.
I've been throwing one this year, man, and I just haven't gotten them to go. I'm really thinking I'm going to throw one when those guys are up here early this week, and I'm going to try to catch one.
Yeah. Just right now, it should be prime for you, and then in the spring, early spring is when they really start eating it good. Here, anyway. I mean, that's just in my experience. So I don't know up there. You might want to throw. I don't know how do perch school up? Will they school up like shad and like move around, or they like school up on the bottom?
They school up, 5 foot off the bottom, but they don't move. I mean, they're structure oriented, just like smallmouth. A Demiki rig? Are you talking like a Nico rig? SAS.
No, I think Demiki is the one where you hook it in the center like wacky and then a nail weight, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
I think that's like a Nico, right?
How often do you catch a muskie on accident?
I've caught 2 this year, but those are my only 2 I've ever caught. So
every one I've ever caught, I like trying to catch them. Except for Dad caught one on a shad wrap one time, and it absolutely demolished the shad wrap. I mean, that thing was in like 5 pieces. It was great. Demiki rig. I'm trying to think. I don't know what a Demiki rig is, to tell you the truth. Or I did. I might. I don't know.
I have no clue, to be honest with you.
Is that the weightless? It's like made by that company, like Demiki, and it's something weightless, isn't it?
Like like that Hydra tube or whatever it's called. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Hank will tell us here in a minute.
The polite way to lose your temper. Well, I just pull up to him and try to pretend to be nice, but just kind of throw him some mean words. No, I really try to be nice. I'm way too nice out there.
I jump in the boat with him.
Yeah, Alex would have beat this dude
like a Jedi. Yeah, it's great. No.
Alex would have beat this dude up a couple weeks back when I was on the water. But.
Yeah, I did. Choked him out with some braided fishing line.
I have way too many spy baits, Nicholas. I got on the craze when it first went crazy up here, but I've never caught a fish on one. Never.
Really?
But, dude, the problem is I can't throw a bait that I know I have to throw on 6 or 4 pound test and be comfortable catching a 4 or 6 pound
Dude,
fish.
let me tell you something. I've thrown that. I throw it on 10 pound. I throw it on a 10 pound leader, and it works just as well as it does on like a 8 or 6 pound leader. So throw it on a little bit heavier line. It's fine. And dude, spots absolutely love the thing. They crush it. But the problem with it is I threw it a lot this past year, and we would find fish suspended, and I would catch bluegill. I literally have caught bluegill, crappie, spots, smallmouth, largemouth. I've caught a perch on one. I mean, it's just everything eats it.
So you literally just cast it out and just let it go all the way to the bottom and just slow roll it, or how?
Yeah. Well, if I find them suspended, I use the 90 size, and the 90 size falls a foot a second. So if I find them like suspended in like 15 foot, I'll just count it, 1. 2, 3, 4, and count it all the way down, and then you just start reeling it. I mean, just creeping it as slow as you can, just enough to get those blades going and for it to start shimmying like it does. And then, like, it's the weirdest bite too. I think they come up behind it is what it is, and like you just lose contact with it, and then it's just like thud thud thud, and then you just set into them.
Okay. I got to throw it. I might throw it this weekend just for fun.
But if you can find some suspended, I'd throw it at them, or even if they're on the bottom, just keeping it right off the bottom.
You know what was crazy? When Perrick and Chris were here, they were catching them on that jerkbait, and that's when I threw that underspin. Dude, I guarantee I could have caught one that day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Okay, Demiki shad. Okay, so Bass Geek says a Demiki shad on a small jig fish vertical for super deep. I don't fish that deep for smallmouth, to be honest with you. I mean, the deepest smallmouth I've caught this year is maybe 18 foot.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about now. Yeah,
Alex, I can't see you, man. You're just a picture.
Okay. I don't know.
SAS, I'm not really sure what your question was. Was it sending you reels? I don't have any extra reels, man.
I'll be back here in a second. I'm gonna relog in.
Okay. I actually thought about doing a challenge this summer when I was catching them really good on a drop shot. I was gonna go buy like a big bamboo 10-foot pole and try to drop shot with a bamboo pole, but it's really hard to go and take myself away from really having a good opportunity to catch them, which is probably not the right mentality. But Jeff, where are you from, man? Are you from Tennessee then? What is a hot shot rig? Do you know what a hot shot rig is, Alex?
Never heard of that.
Is it like a split shot rig? Dude, I might start throwing a split shot rig. I used to throw that as a kid with a little tiny, like, 5-inch curly tail worm, and I used to catch
them.
Yeah.
I throw like a split, like I do the hooks with the swivels, like it's like just a drop shot, but with the swivel hook. I never throw a drop shot without the swivel hook because it's just a twisted line mess, and I don't like to mess with it.
Dude, instead of throwing a swivel hook, I throw a swivel on my drop shot, like way up where instead of tying the fluoro to the braid, I throw a swivel in between the two.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna do that. When we get skunked, how do you gain something from what seems like a wasted trip? It's never a wasted trip, ever. Anytime you can go fishing is always a good time. And I tell you guys, and especially Realistic, just because he has a YouTube channel, which is a really cool concept, which is, he's super realistic about his fishing. He shows all his casts. It's cool how he does his videos. But there's a lot of days that we go out there and I don't catch fish. Or I go out there and I catch like 2 or 3 keepers. I mean, you guys just get to see the really special days or the days that we put fish in the boat. I mean, it's just not every day is catching big smallies and big largemouth and having the day of your life. I mean, it's rough. That's why this week, I got some pretty okay footage from Norris. But, I mean, let's just be realistic right now, and I'll tell you what happened. I had one fish die on me. It had something really bad wrong with it. It had sores all over it. It died on me. I lost footage on a big smallmouth that Dad caught. And then I caught a pretty good smallmouth, which you guys saw the edit for. And then the rest of the fish were just, the little ones. I mean, they were, fish that weren't worth putting on camera. And, and that's how it goes. So, I mean, it's just part of it. You just kind of got to take it with the rest and keep on fishing.
Todd, I've had some soft plastics that his question was, will soft plastics last over the winter? Dude, I have soft plastics that I bought years back. All I do is I just take them inside with me. Instead of leaving them in the boat or in the garage, I'll take them inside and just set them in my room or whatever. I have them in boxes, or you can leave them in the Ziplocs and just take them inside with you. Alex doesn't know what freezing weather is, but
It gets cold. It gets really cold. Like, it gets like 0, but it don't snow like 14 feet, and like, you know, the end of the world comes every 2 weeks where I live.
yeah. I've never fished for smallmouth through the ice. It's something that we don't do much of. Walleye fishing is huge. Dude, I'm not kidding. Frank's Great Outdoors, and I know I keep pushing them. They have so much walleye gear. Guys will come in there on tractors, but they'll change out the tires on the tractors for these like plates and like put notches in these plates and drive that out on the ice. It is the scariest, sketchiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Nope, I ain't doing that. We need to do. Somebody said we need to do an overkill shark rod challenge.
Yeah, did you see the one Chris did?
I got a surf fishing rod.
Is that the one you took when you went on vacation this year?
Yeah, I got 2 or 3 of them. We can do something like that. I feel sorry for any bass that bites because I'll probably jerk his jaws off, but I got one. Yeah, Norris. Everybody's talking about Norris. That's one of the lakes near me. That's actually where the FLW just fished. Yeah, it's getting better, and it's going to only keep getting better. Norris is one of those lakes is when it's the nastiest, coldest, horrible day outside and nobody wants to be out is the day you need to be out there fishing because that's when you're going to catch them. But they're right. Needs to the temperature. That's the main thing with our fishing is our fish bite a lot better in colder temperatures, just period. I mean, we do a lot of my big fish come in fall, winter, early spring, and then they go deep. And if I can catch them in that transition to deep water and I can like crank for them, I'll catch them good. And then after that, it's just, you know, it's put your nose to the grindstone and just work for them.
Yep. My number one drop shot bait, the best bait to catch smallmouth is a drop shot. My favorite way to catch a smallmouth is on a crankbait or swim bait. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing.
I don't have a particular smallmouth rod. All my rods are largemouth and smallmouth.
Yeah, I don't either. Just spinning rod, I guess.
7'6", heavy with an Alabama rig on it.
Yeah. Let me grab this smallmouth bait. I'll show you guys. Hold on.
Every other weekend to Norris in the winter, that'd probably be a good idea. Norris or Cherokee.
Hey, thanks, Chris. Good luck, buddy. Let me know how hunting goes for you, man.
Get you a big buck down, man.
Okay, Lady Bass. This is a Canadian company. They're out of Bellevue, Ontario. Okay, so
Canada, eh?
Canada, eh?
Hey there, ho there. Little drop shot bait.
Bass Magnet Lures Twitch. This is a spanky color, which is pretty good. They also have the Clearwater Perch color, which is really, really good for Clearwater. But this bait's awesome. I've caught some giant fish on this. We caught 3 over 6 on this bait this spring. Or, well, this summer, I guess. Bellevue, it's right by Toronto.
Only Ben can say we caught 3 over 6 this year on a drop shot bait, and he's only talking about smallmouth. That is just.
Actually, let me rephrase. We caught 3 over 6 in one day on this bait.
Yeah, dude, that's just sick.
That was seriously the most unreal day of my entire life, though. Like that's not normal.
No, yeah, I quit fishing after that. Because you're not going to top it.
Someone caught 31 pounds. They said.
So Realistics over here, dude. He dropped some of the greatest questions on live streams I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So what is the main area a beginner would want to focus on when attempting to catch more bass? Is it a lure selection, rigging selection, patterns, or there are many things to consider? It's daunting. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to go into a beginning angler, figuring out, how to fish, what to fish, where to fish, when to fish it. But just start with the basics. I mean, get you a spinnerbait. Fish eat spinnerbaits. I mean, it looks like a ball of shad. Bass eat shad. If your lake has bluegill, get a green pumpkin spinnerbait. That's one question I've been getting a lot lately is like, my lakes don't have a lot of shad and the main forage is bluegill. Can I still throw a spinnerbait? Yeah, just get a spinnerbait that looks like a bluegill. Match the forage, that kind of stuff. Get you some plastics, simple stuff like a shaky head and a Texas rig. I mean, bass eat crawfish all year. And if you're throwing like a structure bug looks like a bluegill, it looks like a shad, it looks like a crawdad, it looks like something, some kind of creature that a bass wants to eat. Don't get too, bent out of shape with everything that's out there, because there's a lot of stuff to have and there's a lot of stuff to buy.
Yeah, my big thing, I started, and literally almost for an entire year, I would throw a jig almost every time I went out, because I wanted to learn how to throw a jig, right? And I wanted to be good at it. So I'd take a jig and I would take 1 or 2 rods and tie a jig on both of them and just make myself throw the jig. So I think the best way to learn a bait, learn a pattern, or learn how to really find fish is just concentrate on 1 or 2 baits instead of trying to do everything.
Yep. And get good. I mean, like, I'm good at certain things. I mean, I'm not good at drop shotting. I am not a finesse fisherman. I'm a power fisherman. I like to fish spinnerbaits. I like to fish things that move. That's what I'm good at. And I mean, everybody's good at something. I mean, like, Greg Hackney's the best flipper in the world. Aaron Martins will beat your eyeballs out with a drop shot. G-Man will beat your eyeballs out with a spinnerbait. Ben would probably beat my eyeballs out with a drop shot. I hate throwing a drop shot. I mean, I've got like 5 drop shot hooks in the boat. You know what I mean? It's just not what I'm good at. Yeah, so, I mean, you just got to, get good at some things in particular. Be good at everything, but be really good at a couple things. And you'll find your time. And there's times to catch fish, especially living here in Tennessee. And I know for being there is too. I mean, it gets so cold up there, you guys can't fish and your lakes freeze over. I mean,
Right.
For us, it's springtime is the time to go fishing. Springtime and fall, that's when the bass eat. That's when you can really catch them good. And so, you just got to take all those factors into account. It's not just, I understand the whole, like, people say it's a lot of luck, which it's not. It's understanding an area, understanding how bass relate to structure, how bass relate to certain things when the water temperature is a certain temperature and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, and that's a good point. A lot of people talk about fishing being luck, but they just don't understand fishing. I truly believe that, because when you catch a fish, there's a reason the fish was there. It wasn't just like, oh man, I made a random pitch up shallow and there just happened to be one lone fish there. I think if you find one fish doing something, really like take a second and think about what you were doing to catch it and try to replicate it somewhere. So I really think you just gotta, what I'm really working on myself is slowing down after I catch a fish and thinking about what exactly I did to make that fish bite. Whether it's, when I cast my underspin out, did I let it go all the way to the bottom, or did I stop it mid-cast and the fish was coming up at it? So just really slowing down and take out the luck factor and really break down what those fish are doing.
Yep. And like, I caught 2 really good fish this past year on the big Swimbait. And those fish were on deep riprap because that's where the shad were spawning at. And we were on a full moon, coming off a full moon, and those bass were keying in on those bigger than average shads. Those were bigger than average bass, and the only reason they were there was to eat. And so those bass had moved up there early in the day to eat shad, and my swim bait looked just like a shad. It came right across in front of them, and they crushed it. I mean, it's just, that's why those bass were there. Bass are simple but complex animals all at the same time.
Yeah, you got to think how small their brain is, but sometimes they outsmart. Well, they outsmart me most of the time I'm out there. So,
yeah.
Jeremy, what kind of underspin do I throw, dude? I, honest to God, have probably put 5 or 6 different underspins in my boat, and I'm still looking for one that kind of has a combination of all of them. The one I'm throwing right now is made by Spin Tricks. The problem is the hook is huge on it. I think it's like a 5/0 hook, so my small little spinnerbait or my small little swim bait really struggles to get on there. So the VMC ones are trash, legitimate trash. I mean, the hook will bend and fall off on you.
Oh, now. There
Huh?
goes our VMC sponsorship. I said, there goes any future VMC sponsorship.
No. They make some good hooks, but the VMC underspin, honest to God, the hook will snap right off on you. I can take it and bend it and break
They
your head
brittle,
off.
really brittle hooks.
Dude, the hook is not even it literally, if you take the head and you take your hand and just kind of turn it a little bit, that hook will like fall over. It's not good.
Hey, Realistic Fishing just asked what kind of eggs are in the shallows right now, large sack. Those are thread fin egg sacks is what those are. That's probably what you're seeing. If it's in the grass and up shallow, like on like trees and stuff, those are thread fin. They're what they do right now is they school together and then they spawn and it looks literally like a grocery bag that like the alien is growing inside of, and those are thread fin. It's pretty crazy.
Hey, Nicholas, I was just talking underspins. I wasn't talking the spin shots. Those are actually pretty good. But I was talking underspins. So like a swim bait head with a blade underneath it.
I use Roadrunner. That's like the only underspins we got in the boat is a Roadrunner.
I've never thrown one, but they're like the originator of an underspin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were making an underspin before underspin was cool.
Yeah.
Hipster.
Yeah, with that man bun. Do you have a man bun going on right now?
I do. Gotta put that hair up.
I'm just saying that because I'm jealous. I wish I had enough hair to do that.
Yeah, well, you know. Like I said, I think I'm part Sasquatch.
Okay, let's go for like another 10. Let's go for like another 10 minutes, and then we'll just call it.
Sounds good. Ask away, somebody. Give me another hard question. I like them.
Yeah, really hard.
Go-to search bait. What time of year? That depends on the time of year. Summer, topwater. Spring, spinnerbait. Fall, winter, jerkbait. That about covers it all.
Now, how do you use a jerkbait for finding fish? I mean, are you going down the bank and throwing a jerkbait instead of like throwing a crankbait or something?
Yep, exactly. We just go beat banks with a jerkbait, and we'll pull off, 20, 30 feet off the bank because there's a lot of where we fish a jerkbait, there's a lot of big boulders. Like it's big, it's not like small stuff. And so you just get out there and you just go at it. I fish a jerkbait really, really hard. Like I really jerk the crap out of it. So, swivel, Brandon. Go ahead.
Sorry, I actually don't fish a jerkbait a ton, so that's why I had that question for you, man.
Yeah, I fish like once they start biting it, like I don't want to put it down. I have a ton of confidence in a jerkbait. I love a jerkbait.
I have so many fish pull off on me. I don't know how. I'm throwing a 6'6" medium, and I just can't keep them pinned.
Really, I throw a 7-foot medium and a super high gear ratio reel. Like I've always thrown like a 7-1 or 8-1 because what I find, and I said this actually in my tackle prep that just came out a little while ago, that when those fish hit it, they'll run at me with it, or they'll start to go like one side or the other with it, and I got to catch up to them and then just drive it home.
So that might be wise because I'm throwing like a 6'4", and I just can't keep up with them. So they might get too much slack on me.
Yeah, that might be what's happening. Because when they hit it hard and they're running with it. What's the swivels? I just use Bass Pro Shop swivels.
Yeah, I just use like real generic swivels, but I'm not throwing anything special on a swivel other than my drop shot. That's just a size 10 swivel. It's tiny.
Yeah. Do I throw big swim baits? Yes. I throw, fairly big swim baits, not like 12 inchers, but I've got some some eye slides and some mag drafts and stuff like that. When do we throw a lipless over another bait? Lipless is something I throw in colder, I mean, like wintertime, like December, I'll throw a lipless. And I'll always catch at least one striper every trip.
Yeah, that's what you guys get lucky.
Megabass
You guys have
worth the price.
stripes.
Yeah, dude, we got some big old mean stripers too. Nicholas wants to know, is Megabass worth the price? I love Megabass stuff, but
here's my thoughts on this. Lucky Strike makes a knockoff 110, and there's no way you can tell me that it's so much worse that it's not worth buying for $7 instead of paying $25. So for some things, yes, like the mag draft, yeah. But
yeah, that's what I was like. Swim baits, yes, but you're gonna pay for those. Period. I mean, if you're buying big hard body swim baits, you're gonna pay a lot of money for them. But like the jerk bait, the Vision is the same mold as the Lucky Strike, as the Trophy Technologies, the BD series, Boyd Duckett series. It's the same as the Livingston. They sold the mold, so it's literally the same jerk bait except for the internal rattling system. So I mean,
and you have a little bit different plastic too. There's talk that it has a different action, but I don't really believe how much it's going to make a difference.
Yeah. And I mean, if you want to throw a JDM, jerk bait that's not going to break the bank, throw a Duo Realis. That's what I throw, and that thing has taught me. A KVD jerk bait and a Duo Realis has put every fish in the boat for the past 3 years for me. So, let's see. What is the best line for different lures? I'm going to say P-line. Ben?
I love fluorocarbon, man. I'm hooked on Sunline. I really believe Sunline is one of the best lines out there. But it's preference. What are you going to catch fish on? Whatever you have on your rod, right? So,
yeah. Best bait for shallow grassy flats. Depending on the time of the year, I would go spinnerbait because, I mean, it's practically weedless. It's easy to fit. You keep it up on top of the grass. It'll be a reaction bite. Makes a lot of noise. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree. Or top water, depending on how shallow the grass is.
Yeah. I want to bring new colors to my jigs or my jig company.
I'm not very good with
that. Guy, so.
I'm not very good with that. I mean, I throw mainly 2 colors, well, 3 colors: a brown, a black and blue, and a green, and I just alternate. I change the trailer color.
I use a lot of natural stuff too. I mean, like, there's one that Beast Coast makes. It's called Watermelon Kush that looks just like a crawdad, and that's just what I throw. And I can't really say much because Beast Coast, they put in the crystal flash and all that, so it's hard to compare to other companies. They make some really unique colors. So, opinions on duck and topwater rats. I've got a BBZ1 rat, and I cannot get a single. I had one bass follow it. That's it. The duck thing, I saw a striper eat a coot one time, so I think a largemouth would eat a duck. I don't know. I guess this is the whole function of, do you live in a place where bass eat ducks? Then yeah, go get you a duck.
What speed reel do I use for deep cranking? I throw a 6-4-1, basically up to 15 to 20 foot of water, and then anything past that, my 6XDs, my 10XDs, 8XDs, I'm throwing a 5-4-1. That way I just don't burn my arm off.
I use a Abu Garcia winch, which is a 5-1-1 for my big cranks. I love it. It's my favorite reel on the boat.
Yeah.
Who is your best sponsor? They're all my best sponsor. All the people I work with are great, are fantastic people. And I'm not just saying that because they send me things. They really are.
I want to go off on a tangent real quick on the sponsor thing.
Yeah. Oh,
dude,
I can't wait to hear this. Go ahead.
Dude, so many people go out and just look for random sponsors. They just want free product. one thing that I've really tried to do is go out and align myself with companies that have good people behind them. And I think Alex is the same way. But you find a company that, one, you believe in their products, and more importantly, you believe in the people behind the products. So I've tried to make sure that I build good relationships with people that I'm working with, whether it's Frank's Great Outdoors, or Big Sunflower Seeds, or Lucky Tackle Box. I try to make sure that the people that I'm talking to behind the company really share my values and are willing to, you know, do the right things when it comes down to it. So.
Yep, I'd agree with that. I mean, if I need to right now, I can text Rick, the owner of Lucky Tackle Box. I can text Brooks, the owner of Nichols. I can text Derek, the owner of Beast Coast. They'll text me back within a few minutes, and they'll help me with anything that I need. I mean, it's a trust thing. I mean, I've trusted these people with my integrity. I mean, my sponsors have my integrity on YouTube, and you know, I'm never going to work with a company that's gonna hinder my integrity or is going to compromise my integrity, because I want my channel is built around educating and bringing you guys the best information I can, and I can't do that when I'm working with somebody that doesn't work with me and just isn't on my, I hate to say it like this, but isn't at my level of, you know, I have a level of you know, integrity that I have to meet, that I want myself to meet, and I want all my sponsors to meet. So
Yeah.
Someone said spinnerbait or chatterbait. Spinnerbait. I love a spinnerbait. Maybe it's just because I don't throw a chatterbait enough, but I love a spinnerbait.
I love a chatterbait, so I don't know. I've caught one of my biggest bass ever on it, so it's just a confidence thing.
Yeah.
It's a confidence thing.
Here,
two questions.
Two questions.
Two questions.
Two questions.
No. We're going to go 2 more questions, and then we'll call it.
Oh, 2 more. Okay. What's your biggest bass, Ben?
Ooh, I caught a 6'9" smallmouth last year, but largemouth, I don't know. I caught a giant and didn't have a scale. I want to break a 7 smallmouth before the end of the year.
Dude, don't even tell me when you do that. You're just a sick individual. My biggest largemouth, probably like 7 pounds. I've never really started weighing fish until this year. Like, this is kind of the first. I've never really been concerned. I just knew they were big. You know what I mean? It's like I knew it was a big fish. It was over 6 pounds. And so I've never really weighed them. So I'd probably say like a 7-pound largemouth. Smallmouth.
That's so big.
Maybe 5 pounds. I mean, I've caught some big 4-pounders, but I don't know if I've ever caught one over 5 ever. So
7-pound largemouth is so big, man.
Yeah. That, I mean, like, I want to break a double digit. That's my main goal, double digit on a largemouth. I'd love to do that.
Did you watch that video today?
Yes, I did. I seen that.
That's
on a frog too.
Yeah, I know.
That's what you got to be doing.
Yeah. No.
Do you change the blade color on your spinnerbaits? If so, when and why? Yes. So I have 3 colors I love to throw: white with flake, chrome with flake, and gold with flake. White with flake, when it's kind of that overcast, you know, kind of that in between, when it's not really sunny but it's not really cloudy. Chrome for when it's really sunny and clear water, and then gold when it's dirty and overcast. And I always throw blue, purple, or gold flake on my blades.
Yep. I like chartreuse blades for spinnerbaits, but that's up here for giant smallmouth. I mean, we just throw chartreuse anything, and
they eat it.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
No.
Okay, I just want to say one more thing. Product endorsements versus sponsorships. This kind of comes back to our relationships with our sponsors. All my sponsors know I'm doing YouTube, so all my sponsors know I'm doing YouTube, so anything that I say I'm throwing, right? I mean, I'm not going to go out there and tell you I'm catching them on a 6 cents deep diving crankbait if I'm going out and throwing a Strike King deep diving crankbait. So that goes back to, in my opinion, relationships with the sponsors I have, and just trusting that at the end of the day, even though I might have had to catch them on a, you know, Green Gizzard, Strike King, 6XD, I still trust and I'm going to promote more so the 6 cents crankbait, but I'm not going to lie to my viewers. So just like you said, Bass Geek, it's all about if you like it, good. If you hate it, you need to say it. So I'm with you, man.
Yep, I'm that way too. I mean, you guys know. I mean, I'm sponsored by Bulldog Rods, but I have Abu Garcia rods and I have Duckett rods, and I'm sponsored by, Beast Coast jigs, and I don't throw a jig a lot, so when I do throw a jig, it's going to be a Beast Coast, and I mean, Nichols. I've been and Dad threw Nichols lures before I was born, and I mean that's all I've ever thrown, and that's what I have complete and total confidence in. And I just happen to grow a relationship with Brooks and be able to be blessed enough to be sponsored by somebody that I literally have all the confidence in the world in. But if for some reason I'm catching them on a Strike King spinnerbait, I'm going to tell you I'm catching them on a Strike King spinnerbait. I mean, there's no reason to lie about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If somebody wants to pull up to me right next to the boat and go, "Hey, what you boys throwing?" I'll show you. I don't care. I mean, because there's a lot more that goes into just the bait. You can't just have just the bait. You got to know how to fish the bait. So,
okay, very last question. And let's do best tactics for this time of year. Basically, Alex, give me your pattern. What would you look for if you're going to a new lake? What's your best tactic right now?
well, first I'm going to look at the water temperature. If the water temperature is what it's been around here, which is in the 70s, I'm going to start fishing topwater in the morning. I'm going to see if I can get one to rise on the topwater because the bass should be eating on shad really hard, should be up shallow. Once the sun comes up, if the sun is up and it's not cloudy, I'm going to start throwing a crankbait, a smaller body crankbait, a spinnerbait if it is sort of cloudy, just to give it a little more thump, a little more flash to really get a bass's attention. Just pretty much throughout the day, that's what I'm going to do when the sun's up. Daytime, as it starts to get dark again, I'm going to start throwing topwater again. If I need to, I'll slow down with something like a jig or a shaky head. But just knowing my fish and knowing how they react, it's probably going to be something moving. So I'm going to try to just stay moving, put my head down, and beat the bank. Because a lot of times this time of year, the bass are anywhere and everywhere, and it's just about putting the time in and making as many casts as you can. Because you could hit a strip of bank and catch 10 fish, or you could fish for hours and not catch anything.
Yeah,
really all dependent on that.
And up here, I mean, we're a little bit different. It's right now it's about 45 degrees outside, so our water temps are like mid to low 50s right now. So I'm throwing moving baits, I'm throwing swim baits. My biggest producer right now is this little 3.5-inch bass magnet swim bait on an underspin head and a big crankbait. So that's what I'm throwing right now. I'm throwing a drop shot still for smallmouth and a tube. You can't go wrong. So I'm throwing pretty much 2 moving baits and really 2, more finesse baits, a tube and a drop shot. So I'll start out moving baits. If I can't get them to go on it, then I'll slow down and really put something in front of their face. So
Yep.
Guys,
and that's what 500 miles of separation will do to you.
That's true. A lot of weather difference.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
But,
well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun, guys. So we're gonna call it. If you haven't yet, I linked Alex's channel in the description below. Go over and subscribe to him. Check it out. And yeah, the Cubs are on.
Go watch my tackle prep. I think that's the best way to. I know we just kind of ended this on tactics for right now, and every week I do a tackle prep on what I'm planning on throwing, and mine just came out like 2 hours ago. So go check that video out, leave a comment, and tell me you did. I'd like to talk to you about it if you got any questions. So.
Yeah, and guys, I'm actually thinking about doing this once a week. So let me know in the comment section what day will work best for you. Whether it's a half hour or an hour, I just want to get on here and be able to interact with you guys. So let me know in the comment section what day works best, what time works best. I'm thinking 8 o'clock. So especially during the winter when I'm not out fishing. But like I said, go check out Alex. Check out my Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. All of it's down below. And guys, thanks for coming.
Hey, I'll end it like I end every one of my videos. You guys are sweet, and thank you for watching. See you later, man.
See you, buddy. Take care, guys.